Thank you guys so much for tuning into today's episode, and we just wanted to let you know and remind you to listen and watch all the way through because we're going to be having a special announcement where we are going to be giving away some money. So be sure to listen and watch. And now enjoy this episode of Hoot and a Half.
It's a packed house today.
It really is. The couch is full.
This feels a little more like late night talk show, like Andy Richter, Conan O'Brien, and
or
then
like
Salma Hayek and Tom Cruise.
It's like the Graham Norton show.
Yeah.
But this is a little warm-up talk. Sure. So Brett, you were a Slytherin for Halloween.
Yes.
And you said that you took the sorting hat test.
I took the test. It came back that I'm half Gryffindor, half Slytherin.
What
Is this ancestry DNA?
Yeah, is this 23andMe? There's no way. When has the sorting hat ever been put on a young Hogwarts student? It was like, oh, happy.
I can choose. You can choose whatever you want.
Ooh, that's like a true half. I mean, Harry Potter was like borderline half and half.
Yes.
I thought about this. This is a while ago. He is probably like the weakest hero of a movie.
In a way.
In a certain way. You know what I mean?
Right.
Obviously, he did like his duty, but he wasn't like
Duty?
duty.
Sorry.
He did his duty, but he didn't wipe completely. I don't know. Matt, I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, but Matt, what were you?
I'm a Ravenclaw.
Ravenclaw?
Yeah.
I
Ravenclaw.
see that.
I can see Matt
through and through.
I can see Matt in the movie just being like that, like outside character. Like, no, why would you do that? But, like you see him like every once or twice per movie. I don't know.
You think Mike's a Hufflepuff?
Mike's a Ravenclaw.
I'm Jewish, actually.
Mike's a Ravenclaw. No, I think so.
Ravenclaw?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I don't know. Well, which one's really good with money?
The Jews. That's it.
That's it.
That's great.
I saw a really funny TikTok about a girl like going on a rant about Harry Potter because she was like watching it and she goes like, can there just ever be like a movie where just nothing really happens? There's always like something going on, like some drama. Can they just be chilling and hanging out and having a normal day?
Yeah.
Because there's just conflict all the time in Harry Potter. All right, well, let's hop into it. Howdy, folks. Welcome back to Hoot and a Half. I'm your host, Matt King.
And I'm Mike Sheffer.
And today we are joined with Todd Smith and Brett Bassock. Todd Smith, you may know him from YouTube, My Roommate, all of that. But you're probably like, who's Brett Bassock? Who's this guy? Why are they on as a pair? And it's for a very special reason. And they are here to promote their new podcast, Good Boys. The Good Boys.
The Good Boys.
The Good Boys.
Who are the good boys? Is that you two?
It's just us. Yeah.
Oh, you two are the good boys? Or are you inviting someone else to be the good person?
It's kind of ironic because sometimes
that's
we're bad.
good.
Yeah, I was going to say, Todd, you're kind of a bad boy. I don't know.
I'm a bad boy. We're kind of like bad boys deep down, but like we come off as like, good boys.
Yeah, good boy image, but you're up to no good.
Exactly.
For very different
Kind of like you,
reasons.
Matt.
Yeah. And I found like the little bio about your podcast. So it doesn't come out yet. It comes out next week.
Yeah.
Do we have a set date?
16th.
16th.
Yeah,
Tuesday.
see, we're on the same team right there. 16th.
That was great. Yeah, that was great.
I think it sounds
Well,
great.
read the bio. I haven't
It
heard
says
this.
these two best friends and their weekly guests share hilarious and sometimes even dramatic stories about all things entertainment, from movies, music, TV shows, pop culture, current events, and much more. This pair has some unbelievable stories and life lessons to share with you. In a time of constant content creation and pressure to always be bigger and better things, Toddy and Brett take the time to slow down and reflect back on their wild lives.
Who wrote that?
That's pretty good.
Did you write that, Todd?
No, I didn't write that one.
No, they wrote that for us, but I helped write it.
Oh, you punched it up.
And you guys already have your first episode recorded?
Yes.
We actually have our first 6 episodes recorded.
What?
Yeah, we went ahead and recorded some episodes, which I think we should have held off a little bit.
6 episodes in the bank?
Just you guys talking, or do you have guests?
Just us, and then we have some guests.
No, but didn't ask us. We weren't in the consideration.
For the first 6
We're
episodes?
holding off. We want you guys to be the 7th or 8th.
No, we filmed the week we were filming. You guys were in Italy.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Because I kept bringing that up. I was like, I wish they were here.
I kind of want to cheat the system a little bit. Have Matt, then Mike, and then them together.
Do it.
Oh,
That would be
I like
fun.
that. That'd be really
that
fun.
actually would be pretty good.
Yeah.
I've actually been planning on doing that for like some internet couples that I know. Yeah, I want to switch them up.
Separate them, then pin them together.
Yes.
Maybe.
Do you want to announce any of the guests that you have? Or is that going to be a secret?
Tease it.
So our first, we recorded a couple, just us two, and then we have Jason was our first guest.
Jason Nash.
Jason Nash.
Always a
Episode
good
1,
interview.
Tuesday. That's going to be Jason.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
I know. I think you guys had him on right before, but at least there's like a little gap in between.
I mean, you can never get enough Jason Nash. That guy's literally a wellspring of content, comedy.
And then we have Nezrin.
Yeah, Nezrin and
and
Francesco.
Nesrin's a photographer.
She just took our photos for
Unfiltered.
She's
for,
incredible.
Like, our Halloween episode.
Oh yeah.
And then we had Joe and Ilya. Joe could not have wanted to be there less.
Joe
Really?
Joe was under a blanket with glasses on, and he looked like he was like a hot shot.
Like acting like you just got out of rehab or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
Like
Yes, 100%.
just like Hollywood rehab guy.
Yes. Yeah.
And then who do we have?
Scott.
Scott. We had
And
Scott.
we had to tell Scott, we were like, keep it positive. Like we're a positive podcast.
We're gonna have a good day.
We're gonna have a great time. He was great.
No,
Kept the
Scott was
positive.
great. And then was that it?
David Alvarez.
David Alvarez was great.
Yeah, he was
He
amazing.
was really good.
Dope. Well, I'm very
good boys.
excited to be
Yeah.
on it. I'm very excited to listen to it, and I highly recommend that the people check it out as well. But so I want to get a little bit more into Brett and kind of how this friendship came to be, because Brett, you're kind of like a new
Yes.
face now in front of all of this. I mean, we've been friends with you for years, and I think
Right.
this is so awesome that you two have like found this connection together, and you guys are going to put out this show. So Brett, tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do.
I'm in the music business, so I get this question asked a lot of like, how are you friends with the Vlog Squad? It seems unlikely a lot of times, and I'm sure Mike used to get this too.
Never get that question. Never happened.
Oh, we picked up
but
Mike at a
you-
bar.
Yeah, exactly. But
You actually did.
it's funny because you two were. I actually think I met you guys before I met Todd at Saddle Ranch.
Yeah. Oh,
that's
yeah, when you
right.
brought Charlotte, baby Charlotte.
I brought my dog. Actually, Matt and I were just talking about this that night. We all went back to David's after, and I brought Charlotte with
Yeah.
me.
Just to explain who Charlotte is, it's a husky Pomeranian mix, which is like a crazy combination
Yeah.
because it's the size of a Pomeranian, which is like, and at the time she was a puppy, so it was a handheld, blue-eyed, micro husky.
Yes.
And he shows up to the bar at Saddle, and we're just
Yeah.
like, this is the coolest guy. This is the coolest dog. This is our new friend.
Yeah, it was great. And then I brought her back to David's after. And like the one thing that you always say, like, be careful around a puppy is like, don't let it chew on glass.
Right.
Like that's the one thing is like, just don't break any bottles in.
Yeah.
Immediately, Matt drops his beer bottle on the ground, and she runs over and picks up the glass with her mouth, and she was completely fine. I yelled at her, she spit it out, and then
But I was traumatized.
He was
I really
traumatized.
thought, like, oh my God, this beautiful puppy that has only been on Earth for less than 2 months.
Oh my
he kept
gosh.
saying, he's like, please, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm like, dude, she's completely fine. It's okay. I think Todd and I were like, out of the whole friend group, the last to kind of really connect. But once we did, it was kind of
Love at first sight.
love at first sight. I remember I went to his book release party.
Oh yeah.
And again, up to that, when I met you guys, I just showed up at Saddle Ranch. I didn't know you guys did YouTube. Like, I kind of grew into learning a lot about that. And then as I got to know that, I always was really curious, like, oh, well, what else do they do outside of YouTube? And I went to this event, and Todd was promoting an entire book of poetry that he wrote. And I was so impressed. I bought 10 of the books.
10!
I literally bought them for everyone in my family. And I feel like that was like a moment, because we were already friends, but that was a moment where I was just so impressed by him on a creative level, because I'm really inspired to create. Like,
And if you give Todd money, he's going to be your friend. So that's
Right. right. Gonna pay your way.
No, it was nice. So Brett, I was at the counter like signing books, and Brett showed up with like 10 books. Like he's like barely walking. Like these books are like weighing him down, and it was a funny image. But Matt,
Yeah.
you were there actually. You moderated the
Yes.
one in
Yeah,
Brentwood. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was cool.
And then, because you also come from like a whole world, like outside of the YouTube group and everything, you come
Yeah.
from music, you work in A&R.
right.
Yes.
So I started working at Atlantic Records when I was 18. Like, I started as an intern and was there as like an A&R scout for a few years. And then I left in 2015 to start my own business, like managing songwriters and producers. And what was interesting is like I really started booking concerts for artists when I was 15, and then got the job at 18 at Atlantic. And by the time I was like 23 or 24 and had been in music, I was like, I'm 24 years old and I've been in this industry for 9 years. I didn't have any friend that wasn't in music. My life revolved around it, and I made like a conscious decision. I was like, I'm going to quit drinking. I'm going to like try to like become friends with people outside of music. But if I'm going to do this, I need to find people who are still creative, they still are passionate and work hard, have success in their own ways, and inspire me, because I really am a huge believer that like you're a product of the people you surround yourself with. And I think when we met, I think that was like one of the biggest things. I like fell in love with you guys right away, because I'm like, you guys are funny and enjoyable to be around, but you're successful. You guys work harder than anyone I know. And I was like, these are people that I want in my life. And I think that was like the start of our friendship and everything.
And you have a really great heart too, Brett.
Well,
you know,
you.
like, did you know that Brett in high school started a huge
Facebook group?
Facebook group.
Yeah.
We talked about this on
For
the-
Parkinson's.
Yeah.
It blew up.
And how? Okay, yeah, I'm curious about. Yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
I was on Facebook for a week. Starting, it was like August 2007, the week before my freshman year of high school. I get on Facebook, and my grandmother, who was struggling with Parkinson's disease, I was like visiting her in St. Louis, and I was just like, asked her, I was like, "What's your favorite number?" And she said 17, and you know, I had just been bar mitzvahed a year before.
Respect.
And part of it, you know, part of your mitzvah is that you have to donate a certain amount of money.
Yeah.
And I had already donated some of the money to the ASPCA for animal shelters. But I was like, you know what? I have a lot of more money I can donate. I'm going to say for every person that joins this group on Facebook, I'll donate 17 cents to Parkinson's. And there wasn't any group like that on Facebook. There wasn't any like charity aspect or cause aspect to any of these groups either. And I invited like 200 friends. And again, I don't even think the word viral in the sense of what it is now is in like the Rolodex.
Yeah,
right.
This is back
of
like
society.
2007 or 2006, like back in the days.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I remember it was like 200 people, 1,000 people, 6,000 people. And then, you know, we told the story, like I went on the local news, you know, all of a sudden the group, like I woke up one morning and it had 70,000 people in the group. And I was
What?
And wait, what's 70,000 times 17 cents?
I owed
Bye-bye bar
like
mitzvah money.
like $10,000, and I didn't even have that money.
Oh, no.
So I was like, what do I do? And then, you know, for a year, I had like 200 or 300 kids from the school, like doing bake sales with me. And one of the things that I did to really raise the money was a battle of the bands. And I put $100 into it. And then that night it made $1,000. And I remember standing on stage, and this is probably like 6 months, 9 months into me doing this and raising the money. I was standing on stage, and I remember like seeing like hundreds of kids in the crowd, and the bands were playing. And I was like, I had this sense for the first time amongst this whole process of like, it was like this, it like itched a scratch that I had in my brain of like connecting things and being an entrepreneur and doing something creative and bringing everybody together. And it was like accumulation of everything. And that was actually what ended up raising the money that I needed to get me to the $10,000 mark.
To pay that.
And
Yeah.
it like, and then after that, once I raised it, I was like, I'm going to become a concert promoter now. That was the coolest thing in the world.
I mean, I was going to say, speaking of charity cases, Todd Smith, ladies and gentlemen.
And my latest charity.
Hey, guilty.
Yeah, what good have you done in the world, Todd?
Yeah.
What, me?
Yeah.
I provided kids millions of laughs and cries.
It's true.
That's true.
I think I've done some good in the world. I've you know, I've made a couple people laugh, and I think if you can make one kid laugh, you know, somewhat happy throughout the day, it's pretty successful, right?
Yeah, I agree. I'm just busting your chops, Todd.
No, I know,
we know
yeah.
you're a good. We know you're a good boy.
You can bust my balls anytime you want.
And now you guys are co-hosts.
And now, now we're co-hosts for the Tonight Show. I don't know what I'm saying. Sorry.
Tonight Show.
No.
Give it a couple more years, Todd. Maybe you'll get there.
So, you know, Mike, we've been very open and honest about our journeys with our mental health on this podcast. You know, we all struggle with fears on a daily basis. And whether that's opening up to a stranger or friends and family, it can be a really overwhelming time to open yourself up to other people. And a great sense of clarity I have found when dealing with that type of anxiety is talking to a therapist, a licensed professional who is there for you when you need them.
And that's why we're so thankful that Talkspace is the sponsor for today's episode of Hoot and a Half. Talkspace makes it possible to speak with a licensed therapist right from your phone, tablet, or computer.
Unlike traditional therapy, with Talkspace, you can message your therapist anytime you want via text, voice, or video. It's 100% secure and stigma-free, which is the way therapy should be.
Therapy should be as routine in your life as going to the doctor, going to the dentist, going to the gym. Therapy is not this like big, scary thing that you should be afraid of. It should be a part of your everyday life, a part of your routine, because it really, truly helps get through those moments in life when you need help. And having a therapist to talk to has changed my life for sure. I know you've had great success with therapy as well. It should be a part of your life just like it is ours.
And if you've ever wondered or have been curious about where to begin with your therapy journey, Talkspace is a great place to start. And at Talkspace, your privacy and your security is their #1 priority.
The app puts you in a private room with just you and your therapist. Their encryption and added security keep your conversations private and secure.
So whether you're struggling with anxiety, depression, self-doubt, or anything else, Talkspace gives you access to the help you need to move forward.
Facing the obstacles isn't easy, and you don't win a prize for doing it on your own.
And getting professional help isn't weird or weak, it's smart.
So talk to someone who is trained to help you make lasting progress.
So join Talkspace today to start moving forward with just a single message.
So just visit Talkspace, TalkSpace.com, and get $100 off your first month with code HOOT when you sign up.
Once again, that's Talkspace.com. Use the code HOOT for $100 off when you sign up.
Was Brett involved in Natalina?
Yeah, that was my next point. Thank you, Mike.
Okay, yeah.
That was a very nice segue. Yeah, so I think I've told this story before, but New Year's Eve, like 2 years ago, or New Year's Day, we're all out, and I had this plan to make a song about Natalie when I was on tour.
Before you guys were dating.
Before we were dating, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a little creepy. I had a phone case.
Romantic.
Romantic, yeah, thank
yeah.
you. I had a phone case, obviously, that said Natalina on it, and then had this plan over on tour where I was going to make a song about her. Finally, tour ended, and we're with Brett New Year's Day. I'm like, yeah, I want to make this song about Natalie called Natalina. He's like, well, I have someone that's like perfect for that to help you produce it.
Yeah.
And he set that up. Literally like 4 days later, we went in and wrote the song, and then Natalina became,
A #1 smash worldwide hit.
the #1 hit. Exactly. Thank you, Mike.
And it was a coincidence too, because we wrote that song, and it was a friend of ours, Charlie Snyder, who came in and like helped kind of like he's a producer, so he knew exactly like how to help make it happen. And we make this song. Todd has like a specific vision for it, and then we were like, okay, what are we gonna do with this? And a week later, David gets the Billboard on Melrose.
Oh, well, of the text.
Of the text.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Todd calls me and he's like, dude, I think this is our chance. Like, let's put the song out like on Valentine's Day with the Billboard up on Melrose. And I'm like, that's the best. You literally have a billboard promoting this song.
Yeah,
like, what
right.
artist has that on their first song?
Dude, the timing was crazy. Have you heard the story?
No, wait. I mean,
I
I,
wasn't
like
even-
lived through
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it's
But-
a blur looking
But
back.
I don't know if you know like the actual like the specific facts of like what happened. So Natalie, they had this idea to take my drunk texts, obviously, that are pretty embarrassing, and put that on a billboard. I had no idea. I was kind of on like a little bit of a bender. Scott was just newly single.
Right.
Me, Heath, and Scott were just going out, getting after it. We go to Boston for a couple days for our friend's birthday. We actually extended the trip like a day or two, and I wanted to come home to go to a hockey game with Natalie. The Ducks and Kings were playing. And she's like denying me the whole time, denying me. And then finally she's like, hey, let's go to that game. I'm like, whoa, this is weird. And so I'm like, hell yeah. Let's like, I have to take advantage of this opportunity, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm in Boston and she convinces me to go home. Everyone else stays. And I ended up missing my first flight because I passed out drunk in my hotel room. Actually, this is kind of too much of TMI. Naked. I was masturbating.
Oh, okay.
You almost made it through. Oh my god.
Try not to visualize.
So I woke up naked. My phone was dead. I like panicked. I got up in a haze. I'm like, what the hell? I ended up like still drunk, booking another flight back home to LA before nightfall. And this was a connecting flight. But I was so desperate to get home to go to this hockey game with Natalie. Finally, I'm about to land. Natalie's like, oh, I'm at the airport. We just dropped off Ilya, and we're going to pick you up. So I think she's with Jeff picking me up at the airport. I'm like, that's weird. Why would you want to pick me up? I didn't think she liked me.
Uh-huh.
And then they drive me to the billboard.
Oh, no.
And that's when they surprised me with the billboard. This was all for that. 'Cause
It was just a ploy
it
to
was
get
just-
you to the billboard.
Just
Yeah.
one giant ploy to get me to the billboard, exactly. And they wanted me there that day because people were taking photos of it and tagging me on Twitter and stuff like that. And so they lied to me. They're like, "Hey, stay off Twitter. Like Jonah did something. We don't want you to go on Twitter, and like we want to surprise you." But it was the billboard.
And you were bummed.
Wow.
You're like, but do we still get to go to the game?
Exactly. Yes. But she kept her word and she went to the game with me.
Oh, so you did go to the game.
So I did go to the game.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Yeah. If she didn't go to the game with me, that would have been pretty messed up. But
Is that when you guys fell in love? Was that the game?
not yet. Not for her at least.
No, I was talking to Sloan, Natalie's friend, about this when we went to OC.
Yeah.
And she was like, I really think it was the song that made Natalie finally start to like Todd. She's like, what girl doesn't want a song written about her? I was like,
mean,
oh my
yeah.
God, it worked.
I think the song
It
did
worked.
push her over the edge for sure. Because she tweeted like even like a few weeks before the song came out, when the song was done, she's like, I just want someone to write a song about me, and I'm like, bingo, right here. But then so I called Brett when the billboard was out. I'm like, dude, this is perfect. This can be like the one huge giant ploy to like promote this song, and it was all fake because the way everything lined up, it was so insane.
Right.
You know.
And then you guys just broke up in Dubai. No, I'm just kidding.
She's actually there with a prince right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she broke up with me. I'm like, hey, take the money and run.
Oh, she left for money?
Yeah.
You know, and then you were too good for her anyway, Todd.
Thanks, Mike.
No,
No.
you guys are still
No,
together.
we're good. We're good.
Great.
If we break up, I'll come here right to this podcast so you guys can have the scoop. Okay. I'm kidding. We're not going to.
TMZ.
Are you planning on having her on Good Boys?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, eventually.
Okay.
Not right away.
No.
You want to mix business with pleasure
I'm like,
too much,
maybe
you know?
we
Exactly,
should do
yeah.
it sooner than later.
Well, I know. Or unless you just,
After this, I'm like,
Maybe I should have Natalie Anchorin on.
if people, I'd watch it.
I would definitely
I'd
watch
like
that.
to see it.
I'm not even going to be on that episode. I'm going to step out,
No, you should. I mean, you should set me up for it and not even tell me.
moderate it.
That
Yeah.
would be so funny.
That's great.
Or that would be funny. We should have Matt and Mike there too. Just one big
That's a
giant
whole crew.
Just
yeah.
be mediators.
Matt's really good at mediating.
This would
I
be
mean,
great.
Todd and Corinne get along though. It's not like a
Oh, no,
high
yeah,
school like you dating my they're not.
But Natalie and
No,
Corinne, I don't.
Wait, what?
I'm just kidding. Because of the hibachi.
Oh, yeah, the hibachi.
Because of the hibachi.
The hibachi issue. Did you not remember?
Oh, wait, when the hibachi came to David's house?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I
yeah.
wasn't there.
Oh, you weren't there?
No.
think
I was
you
probably
were.
at a wedding.
How many weddings have you gone to? I think it's.
4, 5, 6, 7 this year.
There's
I
no
don't know.
way. There's no at least 12.
No, not at least 12.
No,
One
it's got to
for
be like
every-
10 to 15 for
almost
sure.
one for every month. though.
At least, yeah.
I'm honestly jealous because I love weddings.
Yeah.
Weddings are so much fun.
The-
Did you hear what happened at so Natalie and David's friend Sloan, who Brett was just talking about, went to her wedding at Lake Geneva. Mm-hmm. So I'm sitting there with David's friends. You've met a couple of them, and above us, in the middle of the table, is a centerpiece, a very wobbly centerpiece holding candles,
Lit candles.
Lit candles. I don't know what kind of wedding director did this, but they totally messed up because these are like wobbly centerpieces and the tables are not that sturdy. And so as like the wedding party's coming out, everyone's like getting all rowdy, and David's friend Mike slams the table down with his fists, his big fat fists, and the table wobbles and the centerpiece wobbles, and then the candle all the candles on top fall, and all the wax just goes all over me, all over my face,
No.
all over my suit. Only me. As it was straight out of a movie because as like everything's going on, it's loud, the music's playing. I'm like covered in wax, and I can't open like my right eye.
So you're covered in cum.
So
You
it
can't
looks
open
like-
your eyes
It
shut.
looks like I'm covered in cum. It was in my mind. I see a lot of situations as like movie situations. Matt, I'm sure you guys all do the same
Main
thing.
character moments,
Main character
yeah.
moments.
Yeah.
and,
Good
like,
for the plot.
Yeah.
That's how I
I'm like-
combat anxiety lately. It's been my
Exactly.
new little mantra is like, if you're ever cringe about something that happened, you're like, oh, that was so stupid. I did that. It's so embarrassing. Go, hey, it's good for the plot.
Character development.
Character
Yes.
development. Yeah. So in my mind, I'm the main character here at this lovely girl's wedding. It's her wedding, but I'm the main character.
Yeah.
And this shit flies all over me, and I'm like, it's like hot, but I can't open my eye. And there's just, dude, I wish you guys were there. There's so much going on.
You're like, now
But,
I know how every girl I ever dated feels.
Man,
And wax is tough to get out of the
wax
suit.
is
Yeah.
super tough. And so, like, dude, it was just so chaotic. And like, but apparently after everything settled down, people came up to me. They're like, what happened? What happened? I'm like telling the story. Like, imagine like montages of me telling the story, right? From like
Yeah.
a 90s film. And apparently I was the talk of the wedding. Like everyone's like, did you hear what happened to Natalie's boyfriend? Did you hear what happened to Natalie's boyfriend? And my suit was covered in wax and it looked like a nice like Gucci suit. So everyone's like, oh, you are from LA, huh? Nice suit. So it kind of like worked out in the end. It was
It's almost like you had to just get more wax.
No.
Just
Yeah,
keep adding
yeah.
it to make it look like
Dude,
it was purposely
Like,
done.
if you get a paint stain on your shirt, you just spray the rest of it with paint, and then
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like a look. Yeah.
And
That's funny.
I made the shirt look a little better than it was. You know?
Yeah.
Like, so it was that was a huge moment in my life. You know, when I got wax all over me.
It's holiday season, Matt. Have you started your shopping yet?
I'm trying to right now, and Patricia has quite a list, but she's also been pretty ambiguous. She's just like, give me some nice jewelry. That's all I want. But I'm like, from where? Where do I go? And I don't want to be spending too much money on just jewelry because I got to be spending money on doing all the other gifts that she wants.
And you have to build a Christmas village.
That too. But thankfully, I've been using Ana Luisa when it comes to jewelry. And you've probably heard so much buzz about it lately. I've had so many friends I keep hearing about about it. And guys, believe me, Ana Luisa is the real deal when it comes to jewelry.
Ana Luisa was founded to bring clarity to the jewelry industry because it can be confusing. It's a lot of jargon, a lot of stuff you got to know, but Ana Luisa makes it simple, clear, and easy to understand.
And they design beautiful pieces with an even more beautiful story from beginning to end, and they use recycled materials whenever possible.
They make their products in limited batches so you can ensure that they're always going to be the highest quality. They're a carbon neutral company, which means that they offset 100% of the carbon emissions that they produce. So it's great for the jewelry and even better for the environment.
And the quality is exceptional. They also offer a 365-day warranty too for the pieces.
So Matt and I actually have bought them for our girlfriends, and they absolutely love the Ana Luisa pieces that we've given them. Patricia got some earrings, Whitney got some earrings, bracelets, rings. We went a little ham in the paint.
They love them so much they even fight over it because they don't want to have the same pieces. So they got to act fast to picking out what they want from Ana Luisa. The pieces are timeless, high quality, affordable, and long lasting. So we highly recommend checking out Ana Luisa.
I love them. Their pieces start at just $39, and they're currently running the biggest sale of the year. You can get 20% off if you go to shop.analuisa, ANALUISA.com/hoot and place an order today.
Once again, that's 20% off if you go to shop.analuisa.com/hoot.
So check them out. Get yourself something. Get something for someone you love. And enjoy your Ana Luisa jewelry because we sure do. And now back to the episode. How was Dubai?
Dubai was insane. I mean, Matt's been there before.
Yeah.
So,
but it looks like y'all had a cooler experience. Dude. I mean, y'all went to the sand dunes.
Yeah.
You rode around in cars that on 2 wheels, which still doesn't make sense to me.
I don't get it either.
Those kids are so talented. I know. It's like those kids are insane, but they do have. It's really neat to watch them work with those cars because they do have bigger tires on the car.
Okay.
Those Toyota Sequoias, and they pump a certain amount of air in there. But those kids whip those cars up there so fast.
So that's the secret: is that one side is like heavily loaded with more air than the other side.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's not like an actual gimmick. Like, is it a regular car, or
It's-
do the wheels have like something to them that's doing that?
It's a regular car, but I think they're special wheels because they're not. The sidewall is a lot bigger where it can balance on there than a regular
that's
wheel.
cool.
Okay, but then how do they get it up to that moment? Do they like
That's the
have
thing.
to donut up and then?
They just jerk it up.
Wow,
So scary.
I don't know if I would do it at all. Maybe I would.
Yeah, I mean,
I'd have to have a Xanax or something.
when you're, I think you have to pick the right spot in the car because you don't want to be on the bottom because if it tips over, you're fucked.
What do they call that type of stunt?
Side wheeling.
Side wheeling.
Yeah.
Okay.
And did you go skydiving?
I did go skydiving, but it's not that cool because you have to have 1,000 jumps in Dubai to jump there.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
And so
Wow.
I couldn't jump solo even though I have my license. So that was a bummer.
That would have been a pretty view to look down on.
Yeah,
too.
I still did go tandem.
Oh, so you did go.
I did go tandem. I treated it like I was really
That's skydiving.
I was really upset I couldn't go by myself, but then I looked at it as like, you know what? I've been driving for a long time. I need a limo driver.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
I want someone else to take the wheels.
Yeah,
Take the reins.
right.
And was it good?
Yeah, it was. Dude, it was. Did you go when you were there?
I mean, I did mostly base jumping, but
nice.
Did you you did it? I just believed you. I was like,
no,
that
I
sounds
didn't go
crazy.
skydiving.
No, it
but
was-
I did go to the Atlantis though, where you
The Atlantis,
stayed.
yeah, the Atlantis was cool.
My brother and I, we went and got fast passes and just rode every single slide.
Did you go to the water slide?
Except the one with the trap door. That
Okay.
one I did not do. The water slide where like you have to stand in this tube and then they like remove the flooring from underneath you and you shoot down.
No,
and
thank you.
Kevin and I walked
Wow.
up there. We were like, no thanks.
Wait, this
Yeah.
is
See, I didn't go on the slides. I didn't
I
have
went in
time.
that one, and it's like I don't know. It's like how the clarity of the tube isn't
Yeah.
like as crystal clear as they make it look on TV. So it's a little like I don't know, foggy.
Was the
inside.
food in Dubai good?
Food was good.
It looked like you guys were eating some nice restaurants. Like, what would you say was like then a good?
The first night we went to the first night we got in, we went to a Mediterranean restaurant, and I hate saying the word vibes, but the vibes were like insane. It felt like
The
we were-
ambiance?
The ambiance was amazing. Like everyone was eating, singing, dancing. Like I was looking around
so cool.
and like really taking it in, and I was just because people were eating, but then around them people were dancing too. And people were just getting up, like laughing, having a good time, dancing, and just like not giving a shit like what was going on around them. They were just having so
Living
much
in
fun.
the moment.
Living in exactly. They were living in the moment. The food was good. The music was good. It was just like we smoked hookah after.
Oh,
And
that's great.
I never smoked hookah, and I was having a good time.
It's probably really good there too. You're not buying like some processed garbage, and they know how to make it. And
Some quality hashish.
I was pretty nervous for Jonah to go to Dubai.
because they don't fuck around over there.
No, yeah, very very strict. Well, I mean, where we were was pretty touristy, so it wasn't like super strict.
It depends on the place you're
depends,
in.
yeah.
If you're in like
Gotcha.
an American-owned like establishment, the
Yeah.
rules are much laxer compared to other places. Like, yeah.
But like I know like the police that are very strict, and like if you don't speak the language, I know they can be kind of intimidating. Like we had one encounter where we were walking down the gold market with have you heard of Just Saul? He's like an Instagram, like TikTok comedian. But Saul was turning heads. Like we were all he was like with David.
Yeah.
People were coming up to David, but every single person at this gold market was coming up to Saul.
Okay.
And he's the coolest guy. And even like older gentlemen, we were passing by, they're like, oh, that's just Saul, that's just Saul. So we're causing like a havoc in the middle of this gold market. And this police officer taps me. And I saw him from like a couple minutes when he was behind us. And he taps me, he gets in my face. And then I had a friend that spoke the language, and then he kind of calmed down because he knew I was like with someone that could understand him. And then he was just like, he was giving us shit because we were like big film crew.
Causing a commotion in the market.
People were coming up, but then he ended up being cool. We had a permit and everything, so we took off after that. But that was like our only encounter of a police officer there in Dubai. But other than that, it was beautiful.
Yeah. Would you go back?
Yeah, definitely. We did the sand dunes.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Oh,
we rode
wow.
we rode like the dune buggy in the sand dunes.
Little Timothy Chalamet cosplay.
Yeah, you guys should have done like
is that
a
what-
Dune
in
parody.
Dune, yeah, it felt like we were on Mars.
Yeah.
You went to the sand dunes, right?
Yeah.
Or no?
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't? It was.
I broke my Cossacks.
What?
Napoleon Dynamite reference? Your grandma took a spill at the sand dunes yesterday. Broke her Cossacks.
That's a good.
What are Cossacks?
when does grandma go to the dunes?
What is Cossacks?
It's like your tailbone.
Oh,
Grandma
I never
Or
heard
your
of that.
coccyx. I think he like mispronounces it. Your coccyx.
Cossacks. You know, who played Napoleon again?
Josh Heder.
It was in the back of my book.
What?
He's one of the
He
people-
reviewed it.
He reviewed it, yeah.
He's one of the quotes on
Really?
the back of "If I'll give you $1."
Yes, you didn't know that?
No.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I have 10 of them. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Dude, Darren's friend, my co-writer, Darren, his friend knew him, and we sent him a book, and we're like, hey, can you write a little excerpt for the back of our book? He's like, yeah.
What did he write?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
Have you seen the
Will
Napoleon
Ferrell.
Dynamite was like a short before they made it a movie?
Oh, no.
It's like all in black and white,
I
very
know
similar
that.
to it.
When they made it in like the 30s, or
No.
That's good.
Yeah.
Nice, Mike.
Well, so you guys are going to be talking about a lot of like movies, TV shows, pop culture
Yeah.
on your podcast, and I'm not trying to steal away anything that you guys would be already talking about, but have you seen anything recently? Are you guys watching anything together?
Yeah, actually, we have a couple ideas that we wanted to get after. So as a child, when I would go to school, I would listen to Kevin and Bean every morning.
which is
On K-Rock. Sorry, there are two co-hosts on K-Rock.
Locally.
Locally, yes.
Okay.
LA, sorry. They were hilarious. I would basically pee my pants before getting to school. So every
should probably see a doctor about that.
It still happens. True story.
I'm still going to school. Piss my pants.
Yeah.
You're only cool if you pee your pants.
Did
Yeah,
I
yeah,
consider
yeah.
me Miles Davis?
Yeah.
What is that?
Dude, it's from
It's
Billy
Billy
Madison.
Right.
Yeah.
But when he goes, well, consider me
Consider me-
because
Because
Miles
Miles
Davis
Davis is the
cool.
coolest guy. That was
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Consider me Miles Davis.
Miles Davis. That's like his thing. He's like the birth of cool is one of his albums. Like he's the guy who made that phrase.
Dude, that's so
cool.
funny.
Wait, what's Chris Farley's quote when she's getting on the bus? It's so good. You know,
That Veronica Vaughn.
And he says, me and her, we got
Get
it
it
on.
on.
And he says, no, you didn't. Oh, well,
Oh, you
no,
didn't.
I didn't, but I had a friend who
I
did.
didn't. No,
No,
you
you
didn't.
didn't.
Well, he's like, you can imagine if it did. No, you can't.
No, but really, like, I think what's really good for us when we talk about like movies and TV shows, like, I know a lot of really weird facts about like the making of movies and behind the scenes, and he knows every single quote of every movie he's ever watched. Like, he can memorize. Like, I've watched what was the movie we watched together?
Wedding Crashers?
Wedding Crashers, and he knew every single line of the movie.
Is that your probably?
You ever get horny, father?
Stogies?
Why not?
Wait, but you were talking about the radio show you watched, is it?
Yeah, I'm here to get drunk. Sorry.
That's not from Wedding Crashers.
Yeah,
That's
it
just
is.
your family
Yeah,
crest.
Oh man.
Do you think that would be your one movie though? That's like your quote-a-thon one where
Wedding
you could quote
Crashers?
the most.
No, it would be the Goonies. I could have. We watched the Goonies the other night. With
I've
some
never
friends.
seen it.
I could have made it
What?
miserable.
So when I watched it
What?
with them the other night, that was my first time watching it.
I
What?
just got a new
You
TV.
too?
I have a lot of movies to catch
Yeah.
up
I know.
on.
I didn't know. What'd you say?
You've never seen the Goonies?
No, I've never seen a lot of classic movies. We know this.
Jews don't watch the Goonies. Like, but when
Jews don't watch. Is that a thing?
No, but I feel like we didn't watch those kind of movies. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't watch.
It's like the Bailey School Kids. Like, remember those books?
I love the Bailey School
Leprechauns don't
Kids.
teach Jim. Jews don't watch the Goonies. Like a bunch of kids like looking at a Jewish man watching the Goonies.
You made me watch Home Alone. That was the first time I've ever seen it.
Because
I can see
American
that.
movies are very like a lot of times there's a lot of just like Christian what.
We got to get that Home Alone Lego set.
Oh yeah.
Okay, sorry.
sent me-
I
he
just
sent me a
don't
Home
want to forget about it. But
you
we-
know-
I just missed out on all these classic movies. The Goonies is one I should watch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, The Goonies holds up. We watched it the other night, and the picture is amazing.
Speaking of Chris Farley, I've never seen Tommy Boy. There's a lot of
What?
movies I gotta watch.
You know that's
insane.
Hamlet.
Tommy Boy.
Tommy Boy is like the plot of Hamlet. And same thing with Lion King,
Lion
I'm pretty
King, right?
sure, is...
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do that a lot, right? Where they like take these classic Shakespearean movies and then make
Yeah,
them.
there's a lot of those.
Did you know? Do you know what 10 Things I Hate About You is?
Taming of the Shrew.
Taming of the
Yeah.
Shrew.
Yes.
The Taming of the Shrew.
Is that Shakespeare?
Yes.
Yes.
Taming of the Shrew.
You haven't read
Is it
Taming
about
of the
like a
Shrew?
gardener or no? That's shrubs.
Sheer.
What's
I
shrew?
said wait. As you said that, I said sheer.
What is shrew?
It's like a horse. Sorry, it's
A
like,
horse?
Let's find out what...
A shrew?
What is a shrew?
A shrew is... it's like a rat. A shrew is
Okay.
a rat. A
I was
small mammal resembling a mouse.
But like, is there?
So the Taming of the Shrew is they converted that story
10 Things I
into-
Hate About You, where he's in love with this girl, but a guy's in love with this girl, but she can only be with him unless her sister starts dating. So he sets her up with another guy so he can start dating her sister.
because she's like the younger sister.
Yeah,
She's the
so
younger
it's all
sister.
about courting,
So-
and faking a romance that ends up becoming real.
yeah. In the
Oh.
movie, Heath Ledger is with Catherine
Zeta Jones.
Julia Stiles.
Julia Stiles.
Julia Stiles.
Yeah, Julia
Well,
Stiles,
it's
yeah.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt,
Yeah.
who's in love with this girl, but she can't date because her sister Julia Stiles doesn't want to date, and her dad says you can't date until she
Oh,
starts
wow.
dating.
Yeah.
And so he gets Heath
Heath
Ledger,
Ledger
to go.
could date her, and
Yeah.
Heath Ledger's like the bad boy.
And she ends up not. She's like very against him in the beginning, and then by
Yeah.
the end, fall. Okay.
Yeah.
Man,
Yes.
Heath is charming, man.
And that's a Shakespearean plot as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
that actually
I'm
sounds a little
pretty
Shakespeare. I think you would
Yeah.
like. There's books by this guy named Joseph Campbell. Have you ever read any Joseph Campbell?
Yes, the hero's journey.
The Hero's Journey, Hero with a Thousand Faces. He basically like wrote the idea of like every story. What is the structure of different stories and different characters?
So
and,
like, Save the Cat.
what's Save the Cat?
It's the same thing. It's
Like that
breaks
there's like a
down- yeah,
certain set number of stories. There's like, the guy who it's like a pure ascension and his life just keeps getting better, or a tragedy where things just keep getting worse, or there's a conflict and then they learn from the conflict or they don't learn from the conflict. And there's like, I think he's an author that you would really like, Joseph Campbell.
Joseph Campbell.
You
Check it
guys
out.
share a lot of literary
Yeah, I mean, I want to say that I am blessed to live with Matt.
Yeah.
Because honestly, like when he sets up the library, I'll just stand there for hours, or not hours, but like I'll stand there and I'll just like read different excerpts from different books that Matt has.
because the library in the house is great.
Dude,
you can just
it's-
pick up any book and it's already a
it's
classic.
amazing.
Yeah.
And each one most I've read, but each one I have like a connection with,
Yeah.
where I'm like, that one's about that, that
Yeah.
one's about that.
And it's also too exciting when Matt's like, "Yo, I think you would love this book. You should."
Bret
read
Easton
this."
Ellis or-
Bret-
Yes.
yeah.
Did you read that chapter? You didn't,
I have
because
not
you
yet,
would have
no.
texted me.
I know,
I've been
I
telling him to
know.
read just one chapter from The Rules of Attraction.
I'm gonna read
And the
this
rest
week.
of the book you should read.
Yeah.
But this one chapter, it's written like something Todd would write. It's so cool. It's about a guy backpacking all across Europe. It's like 2 pages.
I'm gonna read it today.
That's cool.
Yes.
And I saw you
Okay.
back on the long Instagram captions, like the OG days,
Oh
when you
yeah,
read
well,
the
they
story.
bring those back.
Thank you. Yeah, I kind of I had a little like not freak out, but like I was kind of like not losing who I am, but like I really want to like bring it back and like just like write and like because I've been writing a lot, but I haven't like really been putting things out.
A creative epiphany.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, creative epiphany.
I feel like so much of what you've been going through is like this journey of like, okay, who was I that got me to where I am? Maybe you felt like you lost yourself a little bit. And I
Yeah,
think the
totally.
conversations we've been having is like, what made me who I am at the early beginnings that gave me joy, and how can I bring those back into my life again? And
Yeah.
like, I remember you said those stories were like a big part of it when you would post a picture with a story and get to think about that. And that actually helped build you your following.
Versus like drinking on a Friday, like those captions are like harder to come up with almost
No,
than
Yeah.
writing a story. It's almost like freeing and creative.
Totally, yeah. And like I obviously I wrote those stories because I wanted to be like wanted notoriety for things that I wrote, which is very selfish of me. But then at the same time, that's how me and Matt met.
Yeah.
Matt and I, he loved my captions and my stories, and you know that was a great feeling for someone like Matt to come up to me like, "Yo, I love your captions." And so now, fast forward to today, I'm like, you know what? I'm writing a lot, and I'm gonna sit on some stories that I really like and that fit certain photos for a caption. And then if they work, they work. If they don't, whatever.
There
but
you go.
I enjoy, you know, putting that out there and letting people judge it for whether they like it or they don't like it.
Have you ever seen Natalie's saved Instagram folders?
Have you gone through her phone?
She one time showed me that like she has her saved photos, like you can make collections and like albums
wow.
on your Instagram.
Yeah.
Natalie's is literally curated as if she's like working for a magazine. Like there's like art inspiration, home inspiration, fashion, design, and she has like all these different like, you know, models and like all of her like it's like looking through someone's like lookbook and like Pinterest board, and she does it all on Instagram. And it's just like when she wants a reference for something or like she wants to know like what, I mean, do you do that too? Do you
Yeah,
have, like,
I do it for like fashion and stuff. If there's like a cool fit
Yeah.
or some cool shoes I see, I have like a saved
like
one for that.
curating like different albums on Instagram of like your.
And now you've made it. You've listened this far, and we are going to promote the giveaway that is sponsored by Current.
You've heard us talk about Current before. Current is the easiest way to manage your money. That's how we manage our money. We use Current every day. They're an app that helps makes finance easy. You can track your spending, savings, and they make these really, really cool cards. The Current cards that we love. The design is sleek. Love pulling it out at a restaurant. Everyone's like, what is that? That's such a cool. Are you from the future? It's a Current card, and you can get one.
So yeah, Current is a technology company that helps you manage your money from your phone. They believe banking should be more accessible and affordable, with no surprises and no minimum balances.
Current's easy to use app and debit card give you freedom, flexibility, and faster access to your money. With so many benefits, including earning points when you swipe your debit card at eligible merchants, redeemable for cash back, and no fees at over 40,000 in-network all-point ATMs.
And there's helpful notifications and insights to help track when and where you're spending your money.
It's easy to create savings goals and include the ability to round up your spare change to build a little bit more of a better piggy bank.
And with the Current premium account, members can enjoy direct deposit up to 2 days early.
Ooh, that is premium, baby.
An overdraft up to $100 without overdraft fees.
Ugh, I hate overdraft fees.
Me too.
The worst.
And now is your last chance to be a part of our Current giveaway. We've partnered, Mike and I, with Current to give away $1,000 to you, our listeners.
$1,000.
1,000 big ones, Mike.
That's a cold chunk of change right there.
That's right. Current is going to be giving away $250 to 4 of our listeners of our show.
That means you watching this right now or listening. If you're one of the 4, you're going to win 250 cold, hard smackaroos thanks to Current.
All you have to do is download the Current app, enter the code HOOT, H-O-O-T, when you sign up, and that's your chance to enter to win.
That's code HOOT when you download the Current app, C-U-R-R-E-N-T. Download the Current app, use the code HOOT. This is valid through November 15th, so it's pretty soon. It's almost over. If you haven't entered yet, download Current, use the code HOOT, and enter for your chance to win $250 cash.
So yeah, download the Current app. It'll take less than 2 minutes. Enter the code HOOT, and I hope you win.
Visit current.com/hoot for full terms and conditions. And now, back to the episode.
But you know that I was illiterate until 5th grade.
Illiterate?
Illiterate.
Oh, yes.
You couldn't read, or you were just dyslexic and undiagnosed?
So dyslexic and double vision. So I had tunnel vision. So I saw like this. I saw 2 of everything, and I couldn't read. And they couldn't figure it out. I had to do speech therapy. I was like going to all these classes. I had an aide that sat in the back of the class.
No,
That took notes for me.
And I was about to say, oh no. I'm just
Which, by the way, like my aide, my mom is still friends with her, and her brother is Dana Carvey.
whoa.
Do you know that one of the first times I met Danielle, we were talking about like growing up, and I was like, oh, I went to a Jewish school, whatever. And then she goes, oh yeah, me and Brett had AIDS. And I was like, just like talking about school, had AIDS. Oh yeah, like she was like, oh yeah, middle school, me and Brett had AIDS. And I was like, excuse me? And she was like, no, like aid, like people who would aid us in our classrooms.
Danielle is severely dyslexic as well.
That was like one of the first things Danielle ever said to me was, oh yeah, me and my brother had AIDS in 6th grade. I was like, okay, cool, Danielle.
You like the party, huh?
That's funny. No, but Danielle has worse dyslexia than I have. But I had also double vision, and I was born without peripheral vision and depth perception.
How did we fix it?
So yeah, I didn't even see that.
Oh wait, do you still not have vision? Like you can't.
It's rough. I mean, I got LASIK, which helped with some of my vision stuff, but I still have really bad issues.
Did you get it with the
vision.
same guy that
Yeah.
they got?
Yeah,
Same
I
guy-
went Matt
same
Ryan.
guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're on the Paul Lee train.
Dr.
Yeah,
Paul
I
Lee.
love
Paul-
Mr. Dr. Lee. He's
So
great.
I'm the only one in this room that doesn't have LASIK from Paul Lee.
All
Yeah.
Paul Lee. Hey, Paul Lee grad.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I got COVID. I got COVID like a week after I got LASIK,
Oh my god!
and I lost all my smell and taste, and it didn't come back. It still hasn't fully come back yet. So I always joke that I've never had all 5 of my senses at the same time. But no, it was really tough. But even to this day, I still have. I can't read more than like a few pages at a time without getting like nauseous. I get like it gives me migraines.
Oh man.
So
you guys
but-
got to get us an audiobook sponsor
Some
for your
picture
podcast.
Wait, so I've been listening to audiobooks. Like in the last few months, I've been obsessed with audiobooks, which I never got into. I couldn't.
What are you listening to?
I read or listened. I
Yeah,
guess I
what
listened
read?
to every single Malcolm Gladwell book.
Oh,
Outliers,
yeah, he's great.
Talking to Strangers, dude, amazing.
Yeah, and he's such a good orator too. Like his voice is great.
He's
Have you listened to his podcast?
I have, yeah.
It's great.
Mike
Unbelievable.
actually sent me a Malcolm's podcast.
Oh, yeah, Revisionist History.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is really good. In second grade, I was diagnosed with ADD and I think dyslexia. And I remember like, my parents were like, "What?" They're like freaking out. They were like, "What?" And it's so like funny to like think back on that time of how like I don't know if how new ADD was back then.
But even just like getting
But just,
diagnosed with a mental like disorder back then was so stigmatized, and now
Yeah.
it's hopefully less stigmatized.
Totally,
but like,
yeah.
in the '90s, early 2000s, like that was not. I could, and especially for parents who grew up in like the '70s,
Yeah.
Yeah.
'60s, it's like, oh no, I don't want. But I mean, it's very. Very acceptable to have mental disorders, and like as long as you work through it. And
Well, I'm really appreciative of my mom because she was really adamant that like having this disability or having this problem wasn't a disability; it was like a superpower. Like,
Yeah.
and
It's a difference.
She was like, "This is what's gonna, you can rise above this and learn from this, and that's gonna make you special and not, but like better in
Yeah.
life." And she would take me, something's going on. She would take me to vision therapy every day after school for 3 years. So she would drive me like 20 minutes away. I would have to walk on balancing beams as I read like a chart and go through.
Oh,
like,
wow.
And it was like really
signing
intense.
for Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah. Right.
No, it was like to get my to,
I know,
to strength.
but like balancing beams and like A, B, C.
Yeah, it was like that
And
though.
then you
But
start juggling.
like to strengthen the muscles behind the
Yeah.
eye.
Yeah.
That sounds kind of like interesting though. You can become an athlete and get smarter at the same
Well,
time.
dude-
Why are we all doing that?
So because I had double vision, when I would play baseball, I would stand under the ball and think I was about to catch it because they always threw me in the outfield, and it would land 5 feet away. And I never was a crier, but dude, when that would happen and we would lose the game, I would cry after every game
man.
because everyone just knew like this kid can't. Like I swear, my brain was
Yeah.
telling me I was under that ball. That ball was about to go into my mitt, and it just landed 5 feet.
Brett, go left.
Everyone's like, no. Like, dude, I could just
5
see people
inches.
rolling their eyes when they would hit it to the outfield.
I mean, to be fair though, Jews, as my experience too, we usually get picked last on the sports team growing up. So
Yeah.
vision or not, I don't think we're not going to be the star player on the star quarterback on the football team. But that's
Yeah.
that's why.
How many professional football players are Jewish right now in the NFL?
I think like two, like one or two.
Let's look it up. So how many did you think were in the NFL?
I think there's probably 2 or 3 Jewish NFL players right now.
I would say like 4 or 5. Like I know about Adam Schultz. Is he Jewish?
Julian Edelman is the one I
Oh,
know.
I know.
I have the answer. 13.
Oh,
Jews in the
13.
NFL.
Let's
in the
fucking
Super
go.
Bowl. In the Super Bowl last year, as of February 2021, 2 Jewish players were playing in the Super Bowl.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Who
Yeah.
were they?
The most famous is Julian Edelman,
Yeah, that's
who
what I
was
said,
named
yeah.
MVP of Super Bowl L3. I don't know my
53,
Roman numerals
I think 53,
that well.
right?
Yeah, there's a handful of others, but this is a huge block of text.
Wow.
I'm going to
That's sick.
Look at you
extract
guys.
that.
That's great.
That's really cool.
And also the pitcher who just won like
The World Series.
World Series. He was like he threw out like the main pitch that won the whole World
Jewish?
Series. Was Jewish.
Oh,
He was,
wow.
and he went to Harvard Westlake
Oh, he's from around here.
from around here, right
Damn.
around like literally, which is literally like a
A
block.
Valley kid, huh?
Jake
You know
Gyllenhaal
about
is cool.
Sandy Koufax?
Sandy
Oh,
Koufax.
legends.
Koufax.
This is a Jewish legend. Everyone knows
Adam
about.
Sandler always mentions Sandy Koufax.
He's
My
he was a
grandfather's his
Jewish
biggest
baseball
fan.
player, I think like in the 60s or the 70s, and I think he was playing on the Mets or the Yankees, some big team.
Like
and
the
he's-
Dodgers.
The Dodgers, the Brooklyn
Yeah,
Dodgers.
Brooklyn
yeah.
Dodgers.
And he was like one of their best players, and there was like a final World Series. There was like a World Series game on Yom Kippur, and he was a Jew, and so he said, I can't play this World Series game because of Yom Kippur, like most important Jewish holiday, and he didn't play the game, and they lost the World Series. And now, like, everyone, like, it's like a phrase, like, oh, there was some Curb Your Enthusiasm. He's like, oh, you're Koufaxing us, like, you're not going to play on Shabbat. It's like one of the only like Jewish sports that we know growing up is like, yeah, just the guy Sandy Koufax who burned the team because he didn't want to play on Yom Kippur.
Sandy Koufax did end up becoming the youngest player to be inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame at the age of 36.
Did you just look that up?
I just looked that up.
That's pretty good.
Thanks for having
Make sure to
us.
check him
Thank
out.
you.
November 16th, release date.
November 16th.
Yes.
On
Yes.
YouTube, Spotify, Apple.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wherever you get your
your
podcast.
local podcast.
Amazing. And we can't wait to be on.
Yeah,
I can't wait to have you
you
guys.
guys both on at the same time and then separately as well.
All right.
Fantastic.
Until next week.
Thanks, guys.
We're just cheersing with the mics for the people listening. All right.
That was great.
Thank you guys so much for listening. Be
my
sure
name's-
to follow all of us on Instagram. Comment down below on the YouTube channel what your favorite moment or story was on this podcast. And leave a review. We really do appreciate it. We read all of them, and it really helps us out. Thank you
name's
guys
Mike.
so much.
Why
Much
do you keep
love.
saying that?
Sorry, I don't know. I keep saying my name is Mike.
Saying my name. Okay, we'll see you next time,
All right, bye,
guys.
guys.
Thanks, guys.